Welcome back to another episode, and welcome back to the weekly review wrap up. Now, the first movie that I'm going to show real fast, guys, Willy's Wonderland, starring Nicolas Cage. I did a video on this the other day. This was quite interesting. It was kind of hard to do a video on it and talk about it. I really didn't know what to take, what I was thinking when I saw this. It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm hearing there's talks of a sequel, so we'll see what happens. But Willy's Wonderland, definitely worth a check out. Now, speaking of Nicolas Cage, I decided, you know what, let me check out another Nicolas Cage film that I have not watched yet, and that one was Primal. Now, with Primal, Nicolas Cage is basically a safari hunter. He's a big game animal smuggler. Basically, smuggles animals into the country, illegally. But he's the animal that he comes across this one particular time is a white jaguar, which is very rare and could be worth millions and millions of dollars. So once he captures this, jaguar and gets onto a cargo ship with other animals that he plans on selling, the cargo ship that he is on with these animals is also commandeered by federal agents who are taking this known assassin back to the States for trial. And of course, the assassin gets loose and everything happens. Of course, the jaguar gets loose as well. But I would say Nicolas Cage, he does a good job in this film. But the film overall is definitely not that great of a film. It's almost like, kind of like Nicolas Cage wanted to channel Die Hard on a cargo ship, but it doesn't work too well. But it's not terrible. But Nicolas Cage, I would say, is probably, the CGI is not too bad in this, for a lower budget film. But Nicolas Cage, he's probably the best part of the film. But, is it worth a watch? If you can catch it, on streaming, go ahead. Unless you're a Nicolas Cage fan, you just want to have, all his movies. I think it's $5 on Amazon. But it's not, it's okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it probably maybe a 5. It's just worth a watch. Just for Nicolas Cage alone, it's worth a watch. Now, the next film that I think is definitely worth picking up and definitely worth a watch is Mannequin. Andrew McCarthy, Kim Cattrall. This is a film from the 80s. I liked it in the 80s quite a bit, guys. And you know what? To me, I think it still holds up pretty well. Yeah, it is dated now, but I still think it holds up pretty well in today, to watch now. Just to go back, everything what was once old is new once again, guys. And retro is in, and going back and checking out these 80s films, this one is definitely worth a check out. You have Kim Cattrall, who plays the role of an Egyptian princess, and she wants more out of her life. Basically, she wants to fly. She has these dreams of flying, these aspirations, and just building things. So she, prays to the Egyptian gods to, take her away. And so she disappears right in front of her mother. And, fast forward now to the 80s, Andrew McCarthy, he is a sculptor, an artist, who's just trying to find his way. Takes place in Philadelphia. And he's trying to find his place, trying to see, where he wants to sculpt different things, he's not being able to find the dream job that he wants. He builds, this mannequin, which, looking at it now, yeah, it looks exactly like Kim Cattrall. Really good sculptor, sculpt on that mannequin. But, of course, she comes to life, and he's the only one that can see her, and, he winds up, she's working with him, basically, giving him a second, he's working at this department store that is basically on its last legs. It's about to close. But his window setups, with these mannequins are just drawing huge crowds and getting a lot of business for the company, for the store. So he's promoted to a vice president all of a sudden. And it's a cute movie. It's a romantic comedy. I like those kind of films. And I think it holds up pretty well, guys. I enjoy it quite a bit. So, definitely, Mannequin, worth a check out. Now, here is one that I vaguely remember bits and pieces, when I was younger, because this is 1985. So, this is, bits and pieces. Now, this is a dubbed film. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is an Italian film, but the only American who's really used in the film is Alice Cooper, and that film is Monster Dog. Now, Alice Cooper, though, his voice, even though the film's in English, English dubbed, his voice is dubbed over by another actor, another American actor. The only time that his voice actually appears within the film itself is when the two musical performances that he does within the film itself. Now, basically, we have his character of Vince Raven. He's like the biggest rock star in the world, and he is going back to his childhood home, his childhood estate. Big, enormous, his family had money, and his father passed away, when he was younger, so did his mother, and but he's going back to the estate is still his, and he's going back. He hasn't been there in a long, long time. But, of course, things are going to happen, guys. Things are going to happen. And the nightmare is just beginning for Alice Cooper and his friends that go on this, go back to the house to shoot a music video. Are there werewolves? Well, you're going to have to watch the movie to find out. It is Monster Dog. We do have some killer dogs, wild dogs throughout the film. But, we find out, there's a secret surrounding Alice Cooper's father, how he died. And will this curse be passed on over to Alice Cooper? It's not bad. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen it. Sometimes, with dubbed films, they could be hit or miss, depending on how well it's done. But this is actually done pretty well. It's not bad at all. The acting is not done, badly at all, for a dubbed film. And his musical performances are pretty good too. If you're used to Alice Cooper, you know exactly what you're going to get. The CGI, well, I wouldn't even say CGI, but the practical effects, because this has some, pretty good practical effects, aren't done badly at all. It's shot pretty well. And overall, guys, I think it's worth checking out. This is I picked this up from Kino Lorber a while ago. It's a Scorpion releasing title. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those films that you really got to check out, to get a grasp on, what it is. Some people are going to like it. Some people aren't going to like it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably get about a good, 6.5. It's definitely worth a watch if you're into horror films, if you're into Alice Cooper, anything like that. Practical effects, you're going to get. So check it out, guys. I don't think it's too expensive on Kino Lorber. I think they might still, I believe it's still on their website for sale, but you have to double check and, don't hold me to that. But it's worth checking out, guys. Monster Dog. Now, 2 more films to go, guys. Wizard. Fred Savage is in this. And basically, he has his brother he's in a home. I'm not going to say I'm trying to find the right term to use this. He doesn't speak a lot, his brother. There were some traumatic events that happened to him when he, years prior that have made him, not catatonic, he just doesn't speak anything. And he has this one driven idea in his mind is that he wants to make it to California. And Fred Savage, he's like his half-brother. He gets his brother out of this home, and they're off trying to, make their way to California. And along the way, Fred Savage discovers that his brother is really good at video games, particularly the NES, the original Nintendo. And there's going to be a championship that's going to be held, tournament that's going to be held in California. Along the way, they meet this young girl, close to their age. She joins up, going with them to California. And it's just, trying to get his brother, to open up and, break out of this, what is happening, why is he like this? And he gets into the tournament playing a game. So guys, yeah, Wizard is pretty good. It's been a while since I've seen this one. Again, a lot of these I've actually seen, but it's been years. It's pretty good. Probably not as good as I remember it being. Does it hold up? It holds up pretty well. Again, I think for this one, I want to say it is 1989. So another 80s film, but it holds up pretty well. Mostly though, but if you're really, there's a sweet story to it with the brother just wanting to help his younger brother. So it definitely has that, trying to bring the family back together type of feeling to it. But it's not a bad film at all. And if you're in the video games, this is obviously a no-brainer also. So Wizard, definitely check it out. It's from Shout Factory. It runs around $17, $18 on Amazon. it's not a bad price for a Shout Factory film. Definitely worth checking out. And finally, we have The Shack with Sam Worthington. This is a emotional film, to say the least, guys. I'll tell you, I mean, this film got to me quite a few times. If you've seen this film, you know, especially for myself, having, you know, 2 daughters, this film, it definitely got to me with a lot of things. But there is such a huge meaning in this film that, you know, regardless of what regardless of anything, it's worth checking out. It will just, regardless of what you believe in life, this will make you feel like a better person. It will absolutely make you feel like a better person. I'm telling you. I mean, also, you know, with the things that happen, like there is a tragedy that happens early on in the film, and you know, it's just basically it's Sam Worthington's character having to come to grips with that, you know, with this tragedy that has happened, and for him, you know, just learning to live again, learning to live, learning to love, and it's just, I'll tell you guys, it got to me. It really got to me big time. Checking this one out. Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. It was one that, you know, I had a friend of mine at work. You know, my friend always recommends movies that I, you know, maybe never checked out before, but he recommended this one. And yeah, it was one my mom actually recommended too, to check out. So I was like, you know what, I'll check it out. You know, why not? And it's definitely, it is a, you know, it's a good film, guys. It really is. It really is worth checking out. It will definitely, like I said, regardless of anything, you know, regardless of where you stand in life, this will get, it will get to you. It really will. It will definitely hit you, you know. If you don't feel anything, you might not have a pulse, because this really will get to you one way or another, whether it's just what he goes through, you know, with the tragedy and stuff. It's a really good film. I would give this, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this a solid 8.5. Really, a solid 8.5. It was engaging, and it's a little over, actually, over 2 hours, this film. 132 minutes. But I didn't feel like it wasn't dragging on. I never felt like it was dragging on, you know, at any time during the film. So it's definitely worth checking out. I highly recommend it. So, yeah, guys, these were the films that I picked, that I, you know, checked out during the week. A lot of these I had for a while, just finally decided to, you know, pop them into the machine and check them out. But, you know, not a bad, you know, different genres to check out, like, you know, during the week. So, yeah, guys, like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Take care.